Welcome to Meeting Mesabi, where we talk about everything on the Iron Range, from different events, the attractions we have here, the history. And today we're here with Jared Siebert from Revive Virginia. We're going to be talking about some of what you guys do.
Thank you for having us. Revive Virginia, we're the local 501c3, and basically we're here for the betterment of the Virginia community, centering on Chestnut Street. So we're the ones that help with the fundraisers to try to attract more people into Main Street, Virginia, and basically extend our influence outside of Chestnut Street to help out with things like the splash pad, which has been getting a lot of news lately. We're helping with the fundraising for that. We organize fundraisers like the Food Truck Festival is our more popular one. We also organize the Winter Parade, and we support local organizations also, Chair, VMA, everyone that sort of wants to help out, build Virginia. We're more than happy to reciprocate and do what we can to make the community better.
So as far as the events that you guys run, like you said, you were helping with the splash pad and all that.
Yes.
I think the next big upcoming one for you guys this summer would be the Food Truck Festival.
Food Truck Festival, that's September 19th. And emails have already been sent out to vendors. We already encouraged them about a month ago or so. Just let them know what the date was, let them know, hey, we're looking forward to seeing you all again. We reached out to some new food truck vendors to try to build up interest with them. Applications went out last week, and we should be receiving the first wave of potential vendors and food trucks. Basically, right now we're in the reaching out to as many people as possible because we want to keep the event growing and keep it sort of fluid, where we're bringing in food trucks that the public are requesting of us. So we're getting excited for that right now.
So people could send in requests, is what you're saying?
Oh yes.
Okay.
If you do have a favorite food truck, we have food trucks all the way from Wisconsin showing up. There's a few from the Twin Cities area that I've sent out letters to. That's local people have said, hey, you should reach out to this truck. So yeah, if they do have suggestions on people they want to see or foods they'd like to see, let us know. We'll work with you. We'll try to bring them up here and spread their food.
You have anything like locked in that you can like give us a sneak peek?
Nothing locked in yet. One of the vendors from Wisconsin, Barbecue, specialized in barbecue, pulled pork, all of that. He emailed me proactively saying, I can't wait to see you guys again this year. When's the event? And all of the steady ones like Saigon Cafe, Oasis Del Norte, we always get great feedback from them. And this year, more than likely, they're going to be here again because of the amount of people they see and how much love they see for their food. When you go to get some great tacos on Main Street and you see Oasis Del Norte there, they always have a line. Barbecue, basically everything from baked goods, from Bake of the Woods food truck, all the way to Asian food, all the way to Yanni's Euros. All the favorites should be there again this year, along with a few extra new food trucks that proactively reached out that hopefully we'll see there.
And yeah, the Food Truck Festival, you guys are great at filling out a venue, and the venue being Chestnut Street.
Yeah.
It definitely comes alive during your events. So what else do you have coming up through the year? You do like a Christmas one? And
yeah, we have the Winter Parade, and we're still doing that again this year. We're going to try to expand it a little with basically, for lack of a better term, a cookie crawl. We want to try to tie in for it. So you'll purchase basically a bakery box, and you'll have a list of participating vendors. You go there, they'll basically give you a cookie or a bar, something that represents their store, their identity. And then they'll more than likely be a discount for their business tied to that. So you go in, you get maybe 10% off, buy one, get one free, just to try to build up people going to Main Street. And at the same time, you're going to be getting some great baked goods from your local businesses. So we're trying to tie all that in and try to expand the parade a little more. We know it's been getting busier and busier on the parade, just from the volume of kids we've seen and people in general. So we figured as long as we have all these people coming to Chestnut Street, Let's try to involve local businesses. Let's try to improve the economy. Just try to get everyone's faces out there.
Absolutely. And it's and let's talk specifically about Revive Virginia and what you guys are, because you're doing all of this, and it is a volunteer organization.
Yes, it's entirely volunteer driven. We have a great core of 10 to 12 people that show up consistently at every meeting, that help us do the parade, set up the food truck festival, donate time at local events. We're here basically, like I said earlier, to support Chestnut Street and Virginia as a whole. And it's all volunteers. These people do it because they love the community. They want to see which ways they can do to build it. And we're always accepting new members. So if it's something you're interested in, like I have a few ideas I think could work for the city of Virginia or Chestnut Street. Show up at a meeting. We're really easygoing. We're fairly not too structured. We're fairly loose, and our conversations go everywhere. But it's a fun group of people. It's a dedicated group of people, and they've been doing a great job for the past few years for just doing all the volunteer events that are being involved as we expand our presence.
So like it's anybody can jump in and join if they want to be involved.
Exactly. Doesn't matter. Our age ranges go across the entire spectrum, economic backgrounds, everything. We have an entire group of people where we're fortunate to get input from any kind of community we really want to get input from. And if you feel like your own community is getting underrepresented for events in Virginia, show up, give us ideas, work with us. We're more than happy to have you on board and work with you and try to make basically the entire town more accepting, more economically viable, and try to pull in more people to see how great Virginia is from the surrounding areas.
And the amount that you guys have accomplished in the period of time that Revive Virginia has, how long has Revive Virginia been around?
Revive Virginia has been around, I want to say 9 years now. I'd have to look to get a solid number. The only number I do have in mind is the food truck festival that developed the first year of COVID. We decided that businesses were hurting downtown, needed a way to bring people down, even with the social distancing. Food trucks worked great, standing in lines, socially distant, attracted people to downtown Virginia. It worked great, and we've been building on that, especially for the past few years.
Yeah, and that's just for 9 years being like a nonprofit volunteer organization, putting together like these events that are big now. They're staples in the community. That's really impressive. So one of the projects that you're working on currently is the splash pad. So can you talk a little bit about that?
The splash pad is entirely donation and grant driven. Right now we're up to $500,000, sort of, for lack of a better term, in the pot to develop this project. It's going to be built in 3 stages. The first stage is the actual splash pad. We're going to be basically building a water feature for children, and there's some in the surrounding areas we're building off of their ideas, and it's also going to benefit the natural habitat in the area, like Silver Lake. We're actually going to be pumping in water, filtering it, running it through the splash pad, and then filtering it back into the lake. So water is going to be getting cleaner. There's going to be water churn to prevent algae growth, because we've seen a lot of people complaining about algae growth in the lake, and it's just not looking the best. So the DNR's been spot on with helping us with that. We're planning on expanding the parking lots near Silver Lake and having dedicated food truck spots. We're also going to be building on the current Klein Capoletti area where we have our farmers market. We're going to be expanding that area also. So it's a 3-stage plan. First off, with the splash pad, that's going to be the basis of everything. And then eventually with the parking lot, building up the farmers markets. So it's not just going to be just a splash pad, it's going to be a community area. And it's going to be built entirely, like I said, out of grants and donations. So City of Virginia will not be personally contributing and saying, hey, we're raising taxes to pay for this. No, we're paying it entirely for grants. and from donations, just so it's a pure community venue.
Oh, I love that. And that's some community-driven like ventures. I think they hold a special place in my heart, just because where I grew up, like there was like a community-driven like park, and all the parents just got together and they built this massive park, and it's just like the city had nothing to do with it. They got together and did it.
Yeah.
And it just makes what is it, the life of people who live in the area just better.
It does. It's targeting also newer families coming in who need spaces for their children. This is going to be a nice, safe space, open space, playful space. And it's like you said, it's community driven. It's going to be something the community can be proud of, that they helped develop, they contributed to. And hopefully we'll have it built in the next few years. And it'll be a sense of pride for the city of Virginia, for something moving forward for future generations.
And it's in a nice spot too, because they have the farmers market there during the summer, like during Wednesdays, Thursdays.
Thursdays, I believe.
Yeah. No, so that would be a nice little addition to that, because just having all these things together, that's what makes fun little spots like that.
We are publishing more information on the splash pad on the Revive Virginia website. So if people do have questions, there's should be a fact page set up pretty soon. We want to have an informational session, hopefully at City Hall, answering questions from the public if they do have questions. I know there's been quite a bit of misinformation on the city contributing or the city paying for it, and people worrying what impacts for taxes. So we're trying to reinforce this is an entirely community-driven event. It has nothing to do with the city per se. It's entirely built by donations and funds from the state, from grants we can get from local businesses. We're trying to build something for us for the future.
Definitely. And it's so if people want to make donations, they would go to this website and they can donate directly.
Yes, they can donate directly. Also, we will be collecting donations, I believe, at the local events that we're having. I think there's a job and community fair coming up soon. Revive Virginia is going to be having a stand there. And that's one of our major causes right now, is that splash pad, because we figure it's going to build the community. It's going to be a nice bright spot in our community for kids and for newer families. We want to try to keep this momentum rolling. So at all of our basically tables and tents moving forward for Revive Virginia at any event, you're going to see us talking about the splash pad, in addition to like what we were talking about, the food truck festival being a huge event, getting bigger and bigger every year. Same thing with the winter parade. Like you had said, all these events are getting bigger and bigger. Our same core amount of volunteers, the 10 to 12 people, it's starting to get a little heavy.
I imagine.
So if we would love to see more people show up in support and just try to step up with us and move up with these programs that we're rolling on, these events we're rolling out. It shows a nice dedication to your city if you just donate like an hour a month to come to a meeting. And if you want to help out at walking in the parade with us, or if you want to help out at the food truck festival or help with the parade, we're more than happy to work with anyone that wants to help with us.
So like if someone were to join, let's talk about your personal experience, because you're the
Vice President.
Vice President now?
Yep.
And you weren't always like an officer, you just joined up. What was your experience joining with Revive Virginia? How did that go?
At the time, one of the original members of Revive Virginia, Sean Herhusky, he actually was pulling me in to help volunteer at some of the events, the parades and everything. And from there, it grew from just helping out at events to, oh, there's a meeting? Yeah, I'll show up for an hour or two. To right now, already spreadsheeting vendors, helping out, planning events, helping where we can dedicate money for donations for other organizations. And it hasn't been a really rough go at it. It's been really natural, where it started just with a volunteer, and I just added like a small layer of, I just have to do a little bit of admin work. And it's nothing that hard, nothing strenuous. So when we talk about trying to get in new blood coming in and new volunteers coming in, it's really easy. It's like I said, we have one meeting a month. We have only a handful of events a year, but we would love to get everyone's input. We would love to get everyone's involvement. And many hands make light work, and with how big these events are getting, our food truck festival is around 4,000 participants now, I believe, when it grew from originally only a few hundred. Twilight Parade, people have seen, probably noticed over the years, the number of people that are packing onto Chestnut Street. We had to make the parade route longer this past year to accommodate the amount of people we have. So these events are getting bigger. We would love to see new faces coming in and saying, yeah, I'll help direct traffic, or I'll help with the flow. It'd be great to see some people stepping in and helping us out. It'd be much appreciated.
Yeah, definitely. And it's and I know there's plenty of people who are quick to be like, oh, you should do this, but you know, there's an opportunity for you to jump into it and make these changes yourself. But yeah, that's I think a big thing for people is when they see the opportunity to join something, it's like, oh, I don't have the expertise to do it. You know, I don't know, you know, if they would need me, like, but most of the time it's just like you said, many hands make light work.
Yes.
So if you just like cover one base, or you volunteer here, or just offer up like a couple of hours of your time during a week, and it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, exactly. It does. It's great to see these events growing, because it shows that the city is growing and the community is growing and interest in these events is growing. But on the backside of things, it's nice to see people volunteering time. So like you said, 2 or 3 hours. We have one meeting a month. It's only an hour. For some of these events like the Food Truck Festival, if you want to come and donate your time, just an hour even at the informational booth, or if you want to show up right away, help direct traffic for when the food trucks pull in, just simple jobs. Like you said, it doesn't require like, oh, I need to be really involved in the community and need to have specialized skills. No, we want volunteers. We'll gladly work next to you. We're just regular people. We're not specialized in anything. I work a normal desk job, and right now I'm helping organize community events, so it's something totally outside of what I'm used to. And that's the great thing about our committee right now is we have people all over the spectrum for jobs. We have retirees. We just love to get new people in. We love to see new visions, new ideas, and more hands to help out.
So what's after the splash pad, do you have anything else like down the pipeline for Revive that you guys have been considering?
We have quite a few ideas we've been considering. We have literally an entire typed out sheet of just ideas, from things like tricycle racing to community dinners to, like I said, we're going to start the cookie crawl. We love to get ideas and get some feedback from people. If we say, hey, we want to do a community dinner down Main Street, just set up one giant table, have people sitting shoulder to shoulder with maybe someone you've never met before from your community, basically sit there, have dinner, conversation. Just, we're trying to figure out ways to get this community strengthened, and we'd love to get more people involved in this, because all of us live in this community together. We should all have some sort of pride in the area we live in, and we should all have some sort of goal, thinking forward, like, what can I do to make the next generation a little better than what we have now? We're always looking forward to the future, trying to figure out ways to make Virginia basically the queen city that it is.
Yeah, and it's and you could really see the vision during your events when everything fills out, and you see all these people who are like coming together for food or for a parade, and you can see what Chestnut Street can look like.
Yes.
At maximum capacity when everyone's involved and enjoying themselves and having fun, and it's nice to see. Like, I want to see more of it, and it continuously impresses me that it's just like, wow, this is a group of volunteers that put this together.
Yeah, trying to tie in local businesses. Local businesses on Chestnut have been great for feedback and for giving us some suggestions on what we should be doing or events that we could be having. So it's great to see the community sort of getting more and more involved into this small core group of people at Revive, coming to us saying, hey, do you know what would work great for this food truck festival? And they'll give us ideas. Or when the parade's coming up, we're thinking about doing this kind of special. Great, we'll talk to this other business, see if they want to sort of partner hand in hand. So it's great to see everyone starting to see this like small town community, business owners, volunteers, everyone working hand in hand. And like you said, it's showing on Chestnut Street during the winter parade, during the food truck festival. You're seeing more and more people, you're seeing happier people, and you're seeing a younger generation start to come in also. Not just to like enjoy the parades with the candy and the lights and everything, but also you see teenagers and younger adults showing up to hang out with their friends and actually see these events on Chestnut Street. And it's great to see these community building events happening. And I'm hoping we can keep on this momentum and build towards things like the splash pad and toward these other ideas we want to eventually put out there from Revive Virginia, just to build more interest in the city and our economics.
I remember you mentioning something about a whiskey thing.
Yes, there has been discussions on. I think there was also like a bourbon and bacon event. And
Yes. Okay,
yes.
Yeah.
That's another thing we've sort of gotten like a basic framework of. But that's another thing where we would have set up stations for adults down Chestnut Street to taste bourbon and different styles of bacon.
So, and that's an interesting idea. So if you were to have like new members come in and they have some interesting ideas, it's like a free pitch essentially.
Yeah, that's anyone comes with an idea, we'll give it a second thought. Even if you think it's really off the wall, but you think it might work, come to a meeting, pitch it to us. We'll try to figure out the logistics and make it work. Like we were saying with the bourbon and bacon idea, adult racing, like those little type 3-wheelers cars you used to have.
Yeah, you said the tricycle. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I was going to ask more about that.
Like the big wheels you had as a kid. They have adult versions that you can rent out and basically have time trials and races for. So you could compete like local businesses competing against each other, or just you against a friend just for bragging rights. But it's an event we've been debating about. It's something unique, something we think people would be interested in. And if we can tie it in with local businesses, like I said, have competitions and maybe a small trophy for this small business had the best time.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be a great event, and it'd be something unique and something to bring everyone out to. Say if we had it at Alcott Park with the figure eight they have there, it'd be a great way to get people back into the community again, walking around with people you might not normally see out on the street, just hanging out, seeing food trucks, seeing people race, just trying to build the community, make us stronger.
You know what I haven't seen in forever? Boxcar races.
We could definitely look into boxcar races. There are a couple of steeper streets in the area. We could definitely look into that.
Yeah, I was like, that's a classic one. You saw it when you were growing up, and it's like, where have they gone?
We're also actually going to be rolling out block parties this summer.
Okay.
So we'll be basically blocking off one specific block. I believe the first one is coming up in June, and it's going to be the 400 block. We're basically going to block out the entire thing. We're going to have live music. Some of the vendors on that block will have deals for going in and visiting their business. But it's another event where we're going to have the community just show up and give everyone a reason to get together, hang out, enjoy the weather, enjoy the time, enjoy the music and the local businesses.
And it's something consistent, and it's downtown where everyone can access it, whether you live here or you're visiting.
Exactly.
I love that.
So we're bringing those back to our original plan was to have a block party every other month on a different block, just to show the extent of all the businesses and all the organizations we have in Virginia, sharing a time and place on Chestnut Street.
Oh, so it's like a kind of like a moving.
Yep, exactly. 400 block for this specific month. Maybe move it to the 500 or the 600 the following month or the 2 months after.
Okay.
So yeah, we're going to try to keep it in a cycle, keep spreading the love across all of Chestnut Street.
Smart, I like it. Yeah, and without closing off the street like every week, just a portion of it.
Just a portion, just a small 1 block section.
Okay. All right, and that starts in June.
Correct.
I'll have to make sure to look that up.
Yeah, everything, we are developing a Revive Virginia website, and it will have a list of events on there, and also like an email address if you want to contact us with an idea or if you have a question on an upcoming meeting. We're eventually going to start recording our meetings and also doing a podcast for Revive events. So
okay,
we're trying to expand ourselves to get ourselves out there a little more and get more interest with the community.
Definitely. And let's see, for what is the like long-term goals of Revive? Like I know you said like bring like the economy and like everything to Chestnut Street and kind of bring the community together. Where do you see Revive in your mind at least like going?
Um, I would love to see more and more businesses start up on Chestnut Street. I hate to use the phrase back in the day, but when we were younger, Chestnut Street, you'd like Friday nights, you'd have cars, like lines of cars cruising the main drag. In the heyday of the Mako movie theater, all lit up. You had all these businesses in the area. Everyone was excited to hang out on Chestnut Street. You'd always see friends. That's sort of what we want to bring it back to, is we want it to become an economic hub and a social hub, and have people realize, yeah, Chestnut Street is actually a pretty good place to go. I'm going to go hang out with a couple of my friends there. We might walk down to like Pep's Bakery or the Sugar Shack or Five and Go. And then we might stop at one or two of the stores while we're down there. We might have a drink, just to have people realize they do have that entire community on Chestnut Street that can support basically almost any kind of need you want.
Okay. Yeah, it is. There's a lot going on. And talking about like the Mako Theater sign, like I would love to see that just like lit up and cleaned up.
There's a lot of older pictures. I don't know if there's videos where you can just see the whole thing lit up when it used to do movies. I hate to date myself, but I saw Bambi in there as a child. That was quite a few years ago. But yeah, fully lit up, and it'd be nice to see Chestnut Street go back into sort of those heyday years if we can get more interest in people moving businesses downtown, people frequenting the businesses downtown. And hopefully with the events we're throwing on Chestnut Street, it encourages more people to come down and see what's going on in the center of Virginia.
And essentially it's up to the community to champion that.
Exactly, yes.
So yeah, join up with Revive Virginia. If you're a part of the community, like, here's your chance.
Yeah, we'll look forward to you joining. We'll look forward to new blood, to have your ideas, to have your input. Yes, we do have a really strong group of people that show up every month, but it's always great to see every once in a while we'll get a new face come in with some ideas or some feedback. And even with that one meeting, I don't think we've never had anyone get upset or angry. And we always hear all your ideas, all your suggestions. We always take your input. So we're really welcoming. It's just, we like to see more people show up and be interested in what we're doing and in the community.
And there's no hardline obligations to continue.
Yeah, there's no contracts to sign or anything. Show up, even if you can only show up for like 15 minutes to pitch your idea. Perfect. Show up, let us know what you want to talk about. We'll take notes, we'll give you feedback. And if you want to come back for a future meeting, we'd be more than happy to see you again.
And when do you typically meet? Because you said like once a month.
Typically, we have meetings the first Tuesday of the month. Our actual next meeting is going to be Cinco de Mayo.
Oh.
And we are going to be holding it at the Chair Building on Chestnut Street.
Okay.
So if you want to show up for that, we're planning on having some tacos and Cinco de Mayo based food there. So people want to show up for the food.
Elote?
Maybe. I can actually look into that. I might be able to make some elote.
Yeah, my girlfriend made like elote dip, and I'm just obsessed.
Actually, it's weird. I use my smoker and actually smoke whole corn on husks after you soak them. Throw some Dajin in there and everything. And yeah, so I could definitely try to do some elote for everyone.
That's an easy sell for me.
Yeah. But yeah, if people want to show up for the Cinco de Mayo meeting at the Chair Building, it's at 5:30. We'd love to see you, even if you're just there for the elote and the tacos. No problem. We're more than happy. At least you're showing up. You're supporting us. It's much appreciated. If you'd like to stay for the meeting, give us your ideas for future events. Give us feedback on current events, or just let us know what you would like to see out of our community and out of our organization. We'd be more than happy to take any ideas you have, any feedback you have. And we're a really laid-back group of people, and like you said, it's really lighthearted. You're not getting into any contract. We're not saying, hey, you have to show up to 3 meetings. It's, if you can make it for 10 to 15 minutes, perfect. We just want you to be involved.
Yep, you can be as involved as you would like to be. And if you want change in your community, here's your opportunity.
Exactly.
Cool. I love that. Anything else that you want to throw in?
No, really. I think we covered everything. It's hopefully we'll get more people to show up at some of our meetings, and we'll get a bigger base of ideas and some feedback. We'll show you our entire list of ideas, so whoever shows up can look at it and be like, that one could be good. I don't know about this one. Just so we get everyone's feedback, because we are planning community events for the city. So we want to get everyone's input. We don't just want to have just our half a dozen, maybe 12 people going, this would be a great idea. We want to get everyone involved. We want to have, if we get 100 people showing up at the meeting, that would be amazing, because we would get so many opinions, we would get so much feedback, we'd be get better ideas to how we can serve our community better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd love to see more people there. I love to see everyone that supported us so far showing up at the parades, showing up at the food truck festival, visiting our booths at events. Thank you so much, everyone, for you showing up and showing up for the community. It's greatly appreciated.
Well, if you're interested in joining Revive Virginia or being part of their events, check them out. Join up for one of their meetings, or even donate to the splash pad on their website. When is that the ETA for that?
I don't know the exact ETA. We're still hammering out details for first stage. Like I said, it's going to be a 3-stage process. Once we get more information, we will be posting it on our website. If anyone has questions, we are also on Facebook, Revive Virginia. So you can always drop us questions there. We'll also keep everyone updated on meetings. But that's another great way to communicate with us is via Facebook.
Okay. Yeah. So check them out. And thanks again for joining us with Meeting Mesabi. And we'll see you next time.